Volume 1. Let's build a settlement on a desert island first. Chapter 1. Performing artificial respiration on the unconscious schoolflower who fell into the water. Cough, cough, wow! After almost choking on seawater, Zhang Liu, lying on the sand, started coughing madly. It took him a while before he calmed down. He panted for a long time, then, with the strength to support his body, slowly got up from the ground. Where am I? He tried to sort out the chaotic memories in his brain. Yesterday afternoon he boarded a plane with colleagues to fly abroad. Zhang Liu, never having flown before, went straight into air sickness. Finally, under the care of a flight attendant in black stockings and the school principal, he took air sickness medicine and slept. When he opened his eyes again, water had swallowed him and fires and explosions surrounded him. He barely floated in the water without knowing what he was doing. After taking mouthfuls of the cold, salty liquid, he felt dizzy again. Zhang Liu was confused. Shouldn't he be in a plane crash? Why was he on this beach? Turning around, he saw a golden beach, a dense forest, and an endless blue sea. Seagulls flew across the sky. Waves crashed on the reef beach, creating a soft sound. The entire beach was empty. A slightly warm wind blew, and Zhang Liu, wet from head to toe, felt a hint of coldness. He must have narrowly escaped death in the plane crash and then been washed away somewhere. So this can't be. A desert island, right? Many thoughts flashed through his mind. But in Zhang Liu's opinion, if the plane crashed, there would be a large-scale search operation. After finding him, he can go home. While thinking about it and calming himself down, Zhang Liu completely took off his wet clothes, leaving only his wrinkled underwear behind. When people encounter difficulties that cannot be solved, they will have lucky thoughts. And that's what it is now. He initially assumed someone would come to rescue him, so Zhang Liu sat on the edge of the beach, watching the sea level rise and fall in amazement. Other random considerations began to cross his mind. After he returns home, what line should he say during the interview? Just say I developed a calm demeanor in dealing with danger at the girls' school? What happened to the female colleagues and teachers on the plane? Will his family worry about him after seeing the news? What if his family sees the news? Will worry consume them? What should he do if rescue can't find him? In case rescue fails, what's his next move? Is it possible that no one knew that an accident had occurred on the plane? Could it be that the accident on the plane went unnoticed by everyone? Judging from videos like living alone in the wild, should I start a fire? Considering survival videos, is starting a fire a wise choice? Should I go in and look at the forest beyond? Is exploring the forest the right decision? Master D said the first 3 days require the most effort. But as he pondered, optimism faded to pessimism. The burning sunburn, especially on his back and face, forced Zhang Liu to wear half-dry, wet clothes again. Wearing wet clothes is bad, but exposure to direct sunlight without clothing seems worse. Damn UV rays! He walked to the leafy trees near the sea and found the darkest shadows to sit in. Sand on the underwear from earlier, wet pants outside. After sitting and adjusting, discomfort from pebble friction emerged. But Zhang Liu, unconcerned, shifted his focus to the future. A deep breath, an attempt at calm. After seconds, Zhang Liu stood up, patted pebbles from his pants, and walked to the beach. Learn from videos, create a distress sign. Zhang Liu's first idea. The sun's heat seared his back, but luck favored him. A half-buried bamboo pole appeared nearby. He pulled it, thick as his arm, to the beach where he woke up. Certain of a wave-free spot, serious work began. Unlike past relaxed moments, Zhang Liu, using all his strength, aimed for dark, thick handwriting to prevent fading. After finishing the SOS sign, he was about to rest in the shadows when he spotted a small figure on the sea, moving toward him. What? After a moment of shock, Zhang Liu instinctively approached the beach for a closer look. From the general outline, it appeared to be a person floating on the sea. There are other survivors. Ecstatic at the thought, he swiftly ran to the sea. Submerged halfway, Zhang Liu felt buoyant. With a push from his feet, He lunged forward like a dog, his once hot body now comfortably moist with the cool seawater. I should have run to the sea and swum earlier. Paddling easily with the waves, the idea struck Zhang Liu's mind. As he got closer, the floating figure came into clear view. It was a classmate from the vacation trip, her name escaping his memory. One of the twin beauties is from another class, hailing from a wealthy family. She lay on the sea, her 36D breasts acting as an air cushion. Eyes closed, lips white, and red skin because of the sunburn. I hope you're not a dead person. Grabbing her collar, Zhang Liu paddled vigorously with one hand, moving towards the coast. Yet the returning waves seemed calm from the shore, but underwater currents swept him away multiple times. Only now did he realize the folly of rushing into the sea. And why could I paddle this girl so easily? He glanced at his classmate, holding her dress's back collar with one hand. Zhang Liu wasn't sure if he could reach the shore after letting go, but he knew his swimming skills were lacking. Why don't you leave her? Despite the unfamiliarity, uncertainty about her state alive or dead loomed. The notion of withdrawing crossed his mind, and Zhang Liu's fingers gradually inclined to loosen. While contemplating, the female colleague pulled by the collar coughed slightly. Is she still alive? The fist that nearly released her collar tightened unconsciously. Zhang Liu turned around, finding her opening her eyes and looking at him. Her white lips moved slightly, as if she wanted to speak, but closed again. It seemed she lacked the energy to talk. Yet in her eyes, a trace of happiness at the sight of rescue lingered. How could you give up someone's life in such circumstances? Shedding cowardice, he gritted his teeth, fiercely kicking his legs to approach the shore. Finally, Zhang Liu conquered the returning waves and stepped onto the shore. Regaining strength, he swiftly pulled the girl to shore. Lying on the beach, panting heavily, Zhang Liu felt a moment of terror, his leg muscles trembling. Guilt filled his heart. This was close. Had the girl not opened her eyes, he might have left her in the sea, committing an act of murder. Yet at this moment, she lost consciousness again. Despite gentle pats and calls, there was no response. The school-issued uniform, JK type, with a white upper body and a colored short skirt, revealed a faint purple underneath. After a little hesitation, Zhang Liu extended his hand and touched the girl's lips, directly extended a few fingers in, and forced the little cherry's mouth open. Elegant white teeth and a small pink tongue immediately appeared. He was not taking advantage of this opportunity, but rather using the first aid knowledge he had learned before to check if there was any foreign object in her mouth. Completing the examination, he tilted her head, took a deep breath, and pressed his palms firmly on her life-saving airbag.